Well, hi everyone, it's Joe for Joe for Hire, and yes, you are seeing what you're seeing. I bought a used walker. It's a Walker MT model. It's a 1998 model. It's a 42-inch deck collection. It needs a little bit of work. All minor things. I just replaced the second seal on this because the first one I screwed up. Don't know how I did that, but beginners, it comes with experience, right? So, anyways, I'll just give you the quick rundown on this. It's on its second engine. They told me that when I bought it. Overall, it runs great. And people were saying, but Joe, you're an X-Mark guy. There's one there. There's one out there. Well, it's raining, so it's getting in the bath. What are you doing buying a walker? Well, I'll explain. I love my X-Marks. They cut amazing. That thing is a tank. It has cut more grass than, well, some pretty tall, ugly stuff. It's always reliable. So is this. And but with the Laser Z, it is a mid-mount mower. This is a front mount, and people will say, well, Joe, X-Mark makes a Navigator. Well, yes, you're right. But with the Navigator, the dealer front up told me it's a bagger unit only. You can't even open the door to let the grass fly out the back. And with X-Mark, their decks are timed to their engines, so you can't interchange them. I've already picked up a 54-inch size discharge deck for this thing. It works great. It also needs another seal. I don't know if I screwed up that one or not, but like I replace it and then it starts to leak again. But the decks aren't interchangeable. So what I told my girlfriend was, she goes, why did you buy another lawnmower? I said, well, this way, instead of buying another X-Mark with a 60-inch deck, I can just buy another deck. And like this is a 42, I could get a 48. You could even get a 62. I don't know if this could run a 62 or not, but I'm happy with the 54. So now I get the best of both worlds. I got a side discharge deck, and I got the collection deck. So right now the collection deck's on, and let me just take a look at this. I had this all off. You take this off, this whole hub comes off because the blade's attached to it. And I don't see, this is wet from before I cleaned it all up. So I'm not seeing any leaks there, but yes, this thing has some stories to tell. Apparently it's not a big deal to fix this, but it is there. And you know what, there is a little funny story when I went to pick this up. The guy treated me really fair. I'll save that story for another time, because there was another person involved. He didn't own the machine, but he had quite the story to tell, and it was kind of a neat experience. When I finally did tell my girlfriend I bought a walker, because we had a fight the night before I bought it, which I was going to tell her I was going to go. Okay, you're right, I wasn't going to tell her, but I was going to tell her eventually. I told her the story. She goes, geez, after you told me that, I almost wish I came with you to see this property. It's quite a nice property, and they had some few other interesting vehicles around, I'll say that much. And they're not lawnmower related, but anyways, the guys are pretty private, so I don't want to really tell what they had there, but no, it wasn't anything illegal. But they had some pretty nice vehicles, and that's all I'll say. But anyways, the guy treated me pretty fair on this. He told me, yeah, you know, it needs a little bit of work, but overall it runs well. Like I said, I bought new blades for it. I do that anymore. It's always good to have a second set of blades. And there was a little bit of exhaust leak. He told me that. I just replaced the gasket yesterday. And yeah, so actually it's got the same 674 cubic inch Kohler Command Pro engine in it. Same as my X-Mark. Only the X-Mark is up this way, and of course with the Walker, it's on its side. I'm sorry I got too far back in my shop here. I can't pull up the clamshell to show you. But yeah. I have used walkers before when I worked with another landscaping company years ago part-time. And overall, I thought, you know what, they cut good. I thought they were a little slow. and they're not great on slopes, although I have been told if you back them up straight, they're a lot better. But overall, I thought, I don't know if they're really for my business or not. Not until I got this. I did talk to another gentleman that I know, another colleague. He loves his walker. He's dealt with them for years. And man, they just go through this 42-inch deck. It went through gates that I thought I could only get the Bobcat 36 and the 30 through. And unlike these, I get to sit down. When I went through that one gate, I almost cried. It's like, I can't believe I'm driving a lawnmower, or riding lawnmower through here. And so yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve. I've been trying to do a lot of the minor stuff myself just to save on money. And like I said, overall, yes, the guy was honest. It needed a little bit of work. Nothing too major. My colleague looked at it and he thought overall it's pretty solid. Pure walker guys will realize that those blades likely need to be timed better. I may have to pull the gearbox off again just to try and readjust those. So that's one thing I've been struggling with. I tried it once before and I thought I had everything set up right because they're supposed to be opposite to each other. So that's supposed to be straight up and this is supposed to be more on its side like this. But when I went to tighten up the bolts, things moved. So I'm not sure what I did. But anyways, learning curve. Overall, I'm really happy with it. I'm not the world's fastest mechanic, so it takes me a little bit longer, a lot longer to figure this stuff out. But I joined a couple Walker forums, and man, they've been really helpful. And, it just takes time. My problem is, when I buy something, I almost expect to drive it right away. And it's likely not the thing to do as use piece equipment when you're in your busy season. But I had it in my mind after I talked to my colleague, and he was telling me about how much time these mid-mount decks save them. And was trimming. And I go, what? I didn't really, not that I didn't believe him, but I didn't believe him. But, and I wasn't sure about bagging everything. But then with the side discharge deck, it's larger, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I have pulled this off a couple times. Well, I pulled it off once and I put on the side discharge deck. And I go, well, why am I doing that? Because it's full and I should be leaving this on. But I wanted to try it. And yeah, I did get a dethatcher for it. It's an older one, but I picked it up. And the story on that one was I picked that one up. And then the guy said, well, I do have a side discharge deck coming up for sale, the 54. So I went back a couple weeks later when he dug it out, and it's used too, but I got that. So the dethatching is going to be really handy in the springtime doing dethatching, because with the collection deck, you just lift that dethatcher up and it sucks everything up into the bin, and it makes cleanups a lot easier. So that's a service I'm looking really forward to providing my customers. Anyways, I'm not going to talk too much about this. Like I said, it needed a few things. I did a basic tune-up. I did the oil change, spark plugs, fuel filter, and air filter. And so yeah, there's a lot of grease joints. Let me just see if I can put this down here. So it is the flip-up deck. The 54-inch discharge deck is an older version. It's not flip-up. It's just, it does not flip up, and it's heavy. So the cover's off right now. So you can see this gearbox has already been replaced. This is the one I had an issue with. I replaced the gasket here because it was leaking. It was leaking here, and it was also leaking in the seal underneath. I did pull it off. That was quite the job. But, whoops. Yeah, it likes to do that. But anyways, yeah, lots of grease fittings. Even on the deck itself, there's lots of other grease fittings in there. Like I said, I wish I had the thing pulled further ahead. I could show you guys. But yeah, these are pretty standard right here. See if I can step on it. Just push it down. Yeah. Just push down, that slides in. That locks it in place. And there's one on that side too. So it has saved me a ton of time, both with the collection deck and the side discharge deck. And the side discharge deck I'm finding, being the 54-inch, course, I had to disconnect the blower, but I just pulled the belt off. But it saves me a bit more fuel, and you don't have to worry about bagging grass. I wish all my properties were side discharge. It'd make things so much easier. But this is pretty handy to have. Like I said, it's great to get through small gates. I got through 2, and I almost jumped for joy. I don't know if I ever saw Bob Walker. If I ever get to the GIE again, I want to shake Bob Walker's hand, or at least say thanks for coming up with this idea, because, you know, I love the mid-mount decks. I really do. But I've seen firsthand how much time the mid-mount decks can save you. Even just getting through into some really tight spots. And don't get me wrong, guys. That 48 Exmark deck, the Ultra Series, it's pretty versatile. You can get into a lot of tight corners that I didn't think a larger deck could be. But with the 42, holy cow, it's not as fast as the Exmark, but it makes up for just the amount of time it saves you, because this will likely never wear out. But my knees might, pushing it or walking behind it. And with this, if it can save me time, and this is just my theory, because you look around and say, why the hell does he have this and this and that and that and that? Well, you know what, guys? If I use that a bit more, then I'm not wearing out that as fast. And if I use that, and I'm not using, like, I don't know if that makes sense or not. If I know I had the properties for this, so I took a chance on it. It was a good deal. I did have to spend some money on parts, but that's okay. But everything I have has a purpose. Obviously, the 30 and the 36 is getting through some smaller gates that maybe that can't get through, but that can get through quite a few. This, if I got some really long, tall grass, it will, with that Kawasaki engine in it, the 15 horsepower, it will chew through a lot of grass. This, I wish I could take this every day. This is good on hills. It's lightweight. This, you really have to hang on to it going on hills, but it's so much easier. It saves a lot of time going through grass. And I always say that's my muscle car. That has the speed, tall, thick, heavy grass, boom. I just love that thing. It does have, I do have the Ultra Vac for it too. But that brings me to my next point. I know I ramble on a lot, but so for this to bag, I gotta first take off the chute, and then put that on, then put the bags on, then put the tube on, and then I have to put everything in my truck. Plus the grass, plus all my handheld equipment. With the Walker, I don't have to take anything on or off if I'm collecting grass. It goes gets sucked up to the tube, goes through the blower, goes in the bin. So it kind of balances itself out, because, and there's a lot, you know, I don't have a lot of stuff to carry. I do take a little bit of time to clean out the grass. I haven't quite got that system down pat yet. I think I need a bigger collection bag just to empty it. It's the manual dump. There is no power dump on it, which is fine. And so yeah, a few things I got to tweak on it. But overall, I'm super, super happy with it. I had my dad out last month, and he got to drive it, and it took him a few rounds, but he started to catch on to it, and he really enjoyed it. So anyways, I'm going to end it here. And like I said, overall, the bones are good, I've been told. Just needs a few things, which on a 98, I understood that getting the Walker at that price and at that age, you're going to be fixing something. So it's a learning curve. I like learning new things. I just wish I was faster at doing stuff. But I'll get there. And I'm really happy, even though, like these seals, that seal was 14 bucks. So that one I screwed up, so I had to buy another one, but that happens. And if that's all it is, because everyone knows the gearboxes are more money. So if that's all it was, then I'm happy with that, and I can go suck up some leaves. Anyways, as you can see, the weather sucks. Like it looks, well, sorry, there's raindrops. They don't put east troughs on these things, so it really sucks working in the storage unit because the rain blows in. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this. I hope this, yeah, I hope you found this interesting. And so that's a pretty rough comparison between a front mount and a mid mount mower. I have a need for, well, I think I have a need for everything. I know with this, this is something I've been hemming and hawing about, and I finally made the decision to take a jump on it. And people say, well, why didn't you just buy a brand new one and you didn't have to worry about fixing it? Well, for $22,000, two things would happen. A, well, I'd be out $22,000. B, if I brought a new Walker home at $22,000, my girlfriend, well, let's just say she wouldn't be my girlfriend anymore. She wants a few other things purchased at that price before I buy a new lawnmower, which I understand. But hey, this was not $22,000. It was in my price range. I had the money set aside for it. And like I said, the guy I bought it from, he treated me fair on it. And I think it was one of these things, you know, with Walker people. Well, we bought this as a package deal, and I have another Walker, and I really didn't need this one, or didn't use it that much. But he did have to put another engine in it. And so, yeah, that's the story on it. So if you guys found this interesting and you put up with my rambling, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button, because, you know, as a Walker, you're going to see more footage about this. And especially if I break something or something else goes wrong with it. Hopefully it doesn't. And yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I really want to get above 500 subscribers. Just to say I have 500 subscribers. Anyways, thanks everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later.